On today's show here on the Lakers Report, welcome in. I'm Harrison Graham. We are going to have an updated look at some Russell Westbrook trade ideas. The buzz continues to be rampant. We've told you recently what's going on, what's being reported. So we'll catch you guys up on that, plus also take a look at some specific trades as well. Here's the latest around Russell Westbrook. The Lakers have asked coaching candidates how they'd make it work with Russ, so we've known that. We've documented that for you guys. There's also been reports that the Lakers do not want to trade a first-round pick to get Russ off their books, even though that's what teams want to take on Russell Westbrook's contract, which is, $45+ million for this upcoming season. Now, my thing is, the goal for the Lakers, regardless of what it costs, I'm not saying you can just do everything to get rid of him, but the goal should be dumping Russ. Dump him, and you can hit the reset button on this offseason. I'm not saying you're hitting the reset button as a franchise. You still have LeBron and AD, but you clear out that $40+ million, that is impactful. That allows you to get creative, go do different things, go target different players via trade or free agency. Get rid of Russ, do that first, and then the rest will come. Now, there are odds out there for who's most likely to trade for Russ. Interesting enough, Indiana, Rick Carlisle, number one best odds at plus 300 if he gets traded. The New York Knicks at plus 350. Are they desperate for a quote-unquote star? I don't think Russ is that anymore, but maybe he could get it going at MSG. How about a return to Oklahoma City? We know Sam Presti's trying to add first-round picks, so if he could get one, he would take it, I bet. Houston, back there, plus 550. Detroit, plus 600. Pretty clear theme here, right? Teams that, if they could get a first-round pick, they'll eat it for a year as they look to rebuild. So coming up, we'll have trade ideas with all 5 of these teams because, hey, we'll focus on where the buzz is, where the betting odds are. We'll cook up a trade for each of those 5 teams. But before we do so, simple question. Will the Lakers trade Russ? Yes or no? I mean, are they going to do it or not? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Will the Los Angeles Lakers end up trading Russell Westbrook? Trade idea number 1, we'll go in order of the odds. The Indiana Pacers here. So here's the idea producer Sam cooked up for you guys. Buddy Hield and Malcolm Brogdon to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, and a 2027 first-round pick. Now, if Indiana is going to do this trade, they got to want something young, so we threw Nunn in there. Is that enough? I don't know. You get that future first, lottery protected. It is 5 years down the road, but keep in mind, it's not like the Lakers have picks they can just throw at teams in the near future. You look at Brogdon and Hield, though, if the Lakers could get one or both of these players, these would be nice additions because they could both shoot the ball, number one, and in Brogdon's case, he's kind of a complete player. He just gets injured quite a bit. He didn't have his best shooting year this year overall, but he can really score the basketball. He can handle the basketball. He can play off ball, and he's a great defender as well. Buddy Hield, we know what he is, catch and shoot guy, really good three-point shooter, high volume as well. The Lakers need to add shooting, and Brogdon and Hield would help you do just that. So I'm interested in this. If I am Los Angeles, even if you only get one of these guys in a trade for Russ, maybe you fill up the salary with the third team. I think that in itself would be worth it. Be sure to give us a follow here on Rumble because we're publishing all of our videos, including this one over there as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, go check us out over there because we have free and uncensored content. Plus, Rumble has a ton of content creators on their video platform. Sports, news, politics, tech, business, crypto, whatever you're interested in, they'll have videos on it. Growing to platforms you can use. I like how on the Rumble app, you can open up other apps, have Rumble on in the background, and it'll still be up and playing. Hit that big green button over there, the follow button, and let's continue to get more followers. By the way, we're trying to get to 2,000. We're losing to Warriors today. Come on, NBA Now beating us as well. Lakers fans, stand up, show out, rumble.com/Lakers TV. Let's catch up to our 2 other NBA Rumble channels. Okay, trade idea number 2 here, 3-teamer from producer Sam Brown. The Lakers receive Terry Rozier and Evan Fournier, 2 shooters, a ball handler in Rozier. Knicks get Russell Westbrook, a first-round pick from Charlotte, and a second-round pick from LA. And then the Hornets receive Julius Randle. Top 15 pick from the Knicks, by the way. This is an interesting one. I like it for LA because I like Terry Rozier. I always have. He can really score. He's a microwave. I mean, he'll give you 30 on any given night. Spaces the floor with his shooting as well. He can be your backup point guard. He can be a starting guard for you. He can play different roles. Evan Fournier didn't have his best year, but he's still a good shooter, 39% from three. He won't give you much defensively, but he's just a catch and shoot guy, kind of like a poor man's Buddy Hield, I would say. I mean, that's kind of what you get. Good sniper from three. He'll get cooked a little defensively, but the Lakers need shooting. I actually really like this trade for LA. You're trading away Russ and getting two guys that aren't stars but are solid players, two guys that can start or come off the bench depending on what lineups the Lakers want to employ next season. So I'd be a fan of this one. We'll see if they're able to pull off something like this. Who's your dream trade target for the Lakers this offseason? You can trade for one guy. Who is it? Let us know down below in the comments one player that you'd like to see the Lakers trade for. Trade idea number 3. This is sending Russ back to Oklahoma City. Also a first-round pick, that lottery-protected 2027 one for Mike Muscala and Derek Favors. So you're probably thinking, Mike Muscala and Derek Favors. Well, number one, Muscala, he can space a little bit, is a kind of a stretch big that can shoot a little. Derek Favors can bang a little inside, but this one's more about financial flexibility. You get a big trade exception, a taxpayers one as well. And that, I don't think that's a worse thing. Guys, keep in mind, Russ's trade value is not great. Like, if this trade's on the table, you should do it. Like, seriously, take what you can get for Russell Westbrook because, hey, if the only thing you get is money to spend, that's okay too, because that's a big part of this, of trading Russ. It's not expecting to get a huge return. It's to have roster and financial flexibility, to be able to go sign a couple of players, to be able to make other trades. So I think that would be big in itself. Is it as flashy as the other trades? No, but would it help this team? I think so. I think it pretty clearly would. Subscribe to the channel here on YouTube because we're publishing videos all the time here. The latest news, rumors, trade and free agency market heating up as we get closer and closer to the full offseason. Obviously, the Lakers offseason has been well underway. We continue to monitor the head coaching search, the latest buzz and news there. We'll have you covered. Mailbags where you guys submit your questions and we answer them here. Best part about all of it, it's 100% free. We don't charge a dime. We just ask you guys to subscribe so we can do more content. Now, it's been a busy month here at Chat Sports, and these have been the top 10 channels in terms of new subscribers. We have a ton of NFL channels as well. Our main Chat Sports channel, obviously, you're thinking Saints now, they only have 7,000 subs. The Lakers Report has 44,000. Well, actually, our Saints channel has grown more this month than any other channel. Lakers sitting there at 6th, our highest NBA channel, so good showing so far, but come on, let's close the gap. Let's get to number 1. Be proud. Represent the purple and gold. Subscribe today as we look for the Lakers Report to be the most watched and most new subscribers channel here this month here on YouTube. All right, trade idea number 4. This one sending Russ back to Houston. Eric Gordon, Christian Wood, and David Nwaba for a couple of seconds in Westbrook. So the idea here is, okay, you're getting Christian Wood, who I really like, Eric Gordon as well, but their contracts aren't great, especially Gordon. So if you're Houston, the thought is, okay, we'll eat Russ for a year. We're still a year away probably from contending. Sure, we like Christian Wood, but Gordon's getting older. We'll throw in Nwaba as well. Gordon for the Lakers, though, makes sense because he's a vet that can shoot. He doesn't make sense for the Rockets. That's the reality. 41% from 3. Christian Wood has developed into a nice big in the NBA. He can shoot it as well. I think these would be 2 nice additions for the Lakers. Now, I wonder if Houston would want a first in return, but that's not our job to figure that out. Here are Christian Wood's 2 seasons with the Rockets. Didn't play as well this year, but the efficiency was actually very similar. Just other guys got more shots up. He didn't play quite as many minutes, and they played their rookies a lot and that sort of thing. I think for LA, he could give you 16 to 18 points, 8 to 10 rebounds. I don't think he would get quite the volume that he gets with the Rockets, but you're talking about a very underrated player. I like Christian Wood a lot. Now, I wonder how him and Anthony Davis would fit Would you consider flipping Davis if you got Christian Wood? I don't know. I think they could play together. You could certainly stagger their minutes. But I would like this trade. You get a shooter in Gordon. You get a big in Wood as well who can space the floor and rebound. All right, final trade here on the Lakers Report surrounding Russell Westbrook. Jeremy Grant and Kelly Olynyk to L.A. for Russell Westbrook, a first and a second back to Detroit. Grant kind of established as one of the best 3-and-D guys in the league, and Kelly Olynyk's a sneaky good role player. I'd be in for this trade. Again, I would do any of these. I don't know if other teams would agree to all of them, but I've been very clear on this channel, and I don't know where Chase has stood, but I think somewhat similar. I'm out on Russ. I don't think you can win with him, so any trade that gets him out, I'm pretty much on board with. Now, Jeremy Grant's had an interesting career because he's been a great developmental story. His first 6 seasons, the numbers were just okay, right? 9 points, 4 rebounds, fairly good shooting, but didn't get a ton of minutes, didn't get a ton of playing time. The jump shot was, kind of broken. He had to develop that form. And then you look at what he did or what he's done with Detroit in 101 games. He's kind of become a low-level star. He was an all-star a couple years ago, 21 points per game. Efficiency has dipped a bit, but that's also because he's getting more volume, getting more opportunities. I think with LA, he'd be a 15, 16-point scorer type, and the efficiency would jump up a little bit. I am a fan of his game, and he's an excellent defender, by the way. Kelly Olynyk, good rebounder. He can roll, get to the basket, good enough shooter to space the floor as a big, can play some small ball 5 or some 4 for you as well. So I'm a fan of this trade. You get 2 good players, you dump Russ, I'm in. You don't have to say that much to convince me. All right, so which trade was your favorite? And we'll kind of just cycle through them on screen. I'm not going to read them all for you guys, but we'll just kind of go through them here for you. If you think it's the first trade, type 1. If you think it's the second trade, which is right there, go ahead and you can type 2. If you think it's this third trade, go ahead and type 3. If you think it's the fourth trade with Houston, type 4. And then if it's this final trade, go ahead and type 5. 5 trade ideas based on the betting odds of where Russell Westbrook is expected to land. So go ahead and get your votes in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's going to do it for today's Lakers Report, youtube.com/Lakers TV. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good Memorial Day. Stay safe if you're out there drinking and doing stuff like that. Don't drink and drive. Call Uber. Have a DD, all that good stuff. Enjoy your weekend. Start of summer is here. The summer of whatever your name is. It's underway. youtube.com/Lakers TV. We'll see you soon here on the channel.